Here we go. Those poor guys. There we go. Oh my. Well, anyway. Here, Peter. I thought I sent you one. Bolo head, huh? Yeah. I got off because I don't want to keep a live stream that long. There you are. Just if I could hurry up and go. I went to go see the Geritol guys, the Metamucil guys. They're talking smack again, but that's okay. I'm not having a hard time keeping it up. I don't need Viagra.
So what do you do for work, man?
Who, me, Peter?
Do what?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Right now, nothing. I'm collecting my what do you call it? Disability. But when I was in Alaska, I worked. When I first got out of high school, I was a bouncer in the bar, military bars in Anchorage, and then after that, I went to Dutch Harbor and I was a crabber, Alaska king crab. I'd done that for quite a few years. And then I got married to Alaska Native, and I lived in the Eskimo village for 17 years. And then during that time, I worked at the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, and I also worked at the world's largest zinc mine in Alaska.
Yeah,
and then I went to the Philippines and lived there for right around 14 and a half years.
And now you're picking up disability in the U.S.?
Yeah, because when I got banged in the head, it severed a whole bunch of nerves in my temple, and they did a bunch of tests on me and EKGs, and they just figured I'm already 55, and it's just not worth.
Wait, EKGs or EEGs?
What's that big ass machine that you go inside and you drink
That's
some kind of liquid?
That's
and
an
it
MRI.
messes. Okay, I had an MRI. I'm sorry.
Or a CT scan. It was it the brain?
I had a CAT scan in the Philippines,
Okay.
and then I went back to the U.S. and at 2014, and they did a
the reason
test
I
on
asked that. The reason I asked that, I don't know if you know my story, but about 2005, I started having seizures.
Okay.
And I mean, I have epilepsy now.
Okay.
No, I know all the drill. Believe me, I know all the drill.
Well, yeah, you got to go through a lot of red tape to get disability.
Well, no, my disability actually was very easy to get.
Oh, okay.
My dad just went over, did some paperwork, and literally it took about a week to get it done.
Okay, it took me months of tests and medical things and stuff like that, and then I submitted it, and they did all those tests, and then I got denied. And then when I went from Utah to here in Kentucky, and then I filed it again, and I was approved 2 months later.
Yeah, it wasn't the it wasn't that hard to get done. I mean, yeah, but also, you know, I mean, most people know my story. My dad's former military.
Okay.
So he had some connections. I mean, it wasn't no like under the table corruption BS.
Uh-huh.
but he knew the right people that knew the right process to do the right things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah. So I mean, it didn't take long to get stuff done, and my disability wasn't initially through Social Security,
Oh, yeah.
so that helped. I won't go into all the details because it's not. I don't really like a lot of stuff public, but
Yeah.
um, based on my dad's service, I was able to get Social Security. I mean, the equivalent of a Social Security um, for um, for a couple years until they could get everything else situated. Um, and I'm kind of amazed at the chat. My sister that passed away in 1990 is chatting here.
She's chatting where?
In the live chat. My sister that passed away in 1990 is in the chat room.
Under whose name?
Under Vandiver Faith. That's my sister. She died in 1990. It's amazing.
Huh.
They have Wi-Fi in heaven.
Well, I'm not. I am pretty impressed. Then, I mean, if
It,
you're
it,
impressed, I'm
no,
impressed.
it's one of those. It's one of the stupid trolls that have made an account in her name.
Oh,
But,
so you're being a magnet to people
oh,
then.
you would not believe. I have had to have so many accounts, so many impersonating accounts. It's and all you have to do is go to YouTube and file it and send them your ID to prove that they're impersonating you, and they'll pull it immediately.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I had one guy. He did a Big Kevin. Then he said Big Kevin impersonator. And then he
yeah,
went on to Dave's show and those other show and telling them that I am sending them over as a spy, which is a bunch of BS. I don't need to do that to get people from his show on my show. You know, if you want to come to my show, I mean, I got 14, I got 15 people, and this is my second time coming on. And those
well,
other guys,
oh no,
they got 19,
hold
18.
on. The numbers are going to skyrocket here in about 10 minutes because word's going to get out that PV's live.
So, yeah,
no. Here's the other thing. Dave, when you talk about Dave, he is completely disillusional. Okay, he actually thinks and believes that if he were to have me on his show and confront me, that 3,000 people would be watching it. Okay. No,
that would be nice. I mean,
no. Let me tell you, if I were to go live with someone, if it was Henry, there would be probably at least 5,000 with me confronting him, because that's the one that I have the real beef with.
Who's that, Henry?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a long-standing beef with Henry.
Huh.
That's the one that I have the huge beef with. The guy comes over here. First of all, he comes to the Philippines to bang married women, and then that didn't work out. So now he looks for these young girls that are stupid, that he can fill full of ideas, tell them how amazing they are just to get in their pants. And I have a huge problem with that. So no, if I were to confront him on live, that would get 3,000 watching real quick.
But he probably wouldn't do that though.
Oh no. You know what? He was on Alo's show. I was surprised, but he was on Alo's show. And I started getting on there and commenting, and he was ready to quit.
Oh,
As soon as he saw my name and realized it was really me, he didn't like me in the live chat. Um,
oh,
and oh no, he would never confront. I actually went to Demageddon, okay, and sit down there for 3 days, just messing around in Demageddon. But
is that a nice place?
I I don't like it, but I put out a video when I first arrived, a message to Rick Hay that I was in town and I
Hmm.
was ready. I was ready for him to confront me. He wouldn't dare.
He didn't take the bait.
Oh hell no, he's not gonna meet me. He knows better. So I mean that was I mean yeah, he can run his mouth on Facebook, but he's not gonna actually do anything.
I
Um,
like Ned. Ned he seems okay.
I'll tell you my problem. My big problem with Ned is the hypocrisy. Okay, he
I'm
will.
listening.
Okay, he gets on his channel and talks about tolerance and everybody should just get along and people should have compassion and understanding for each other.
I
And
like
then,
that.
but here's the thing. Then he goes on everybody else's channel and just talks shit. Like he'll go on other people's channel and call me a psychopath and call me all kinds of things. But then he'll go back on his channel and do a video and talk about we should have tolerance and understanding for people that think differently. Dude, which is it? Are you going to
Ned
be a
is cute.
troll or are you going to talk about tolerance? Pick one.
Yeah, you shouldn't have both. Except, yeah, you got to pick one or the other, but you don't have to keep on changing your mask.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, and I've told Ned. I said, I've told him 2 years ago. I said, you know what? If you really want to stop this drama, let's sit down and let's talk. My main issue with Ned, I'll be honest with you, my biggest issue with Ned is his stance on the Second Amendment.
And what's his stance about that?
That all Americans should lose the right to bear arms unless they are law enforcement.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's kind of,
He's a Bernie Sandersite.
yeah. Or well, yeah, but isn't Hillary the same thoughts?
Oh no, Hillary is conservative compared to Bernie.
Okay.
Um, and that's where my big issue with Ned started was, you know what, you want to take my weapons? Come get them yourself.
Yeah, but I wonder how many Mr. Sanders has. How many weapons?
Oh, Sanders, he doesn't have any. I mean, Bernie Sanders is a nutcase. Okay, he's a complete nut, but he at least practices what he preaches. Okay, but here's the deal with Ned. The guy used to be 82nd Airborne. Okay,
Okay.
I don't know if you know what the military is, but these are infantry guys that jump out of airplanes
Yeah.
behind enemy lines. Okay, so he used to be infantry that fires weapons for a living, and then he wants to take everybody's weapon away from him. Are you out of your
No.
mind? I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. It's nice to know where you stand, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, as far as he go, that's where the thing with Ned really is. Um, and then I mean, he has said some stuff, some of this nutcase stuff, that it's just he's a troll, and he's been involved in this quote unquote alliance BS.
Yeah.
So I mean, at some point, I just gotta, you gotta say, hey, I mean, what's the? Actually, at one time, he wanted me to come do an interview like this on his show.
Yeah.
But
And that's cool.
well, he sent me an email. He sent me an email. I sent an email back to him. I said, I'll do it, but here's the conditions. Number one was that I'm not going to discuss my personal life. As soon as
it should be just on topic, whatever the topic is.
As soon as he found out I wasn't going to discuss all the juicy gossip that everybody wants to talk about, he wasn't interested. Immediately, as soon as I get on one of these shows, everybody wants to get straight to the gossip.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Great. There he is. See, I'm not going to block you. I don't block everybody.
No, but I block people that are assholes. That's my rule.
See, yeah.
My rule is if you can say anything you want on my channel in comments, as long as you can say it positively and do it with being nice. I don't really care. I mean, you can pretty much say what you want, but you know what? You can find a way and say it that's not rude and crude. And if you can't leave a comment and not be rude, you don't need to leave comments. It's just that simple. I don't tolerate people trashing my family, or mainly my family. I mean, for the most part, it's mainly my family that I don't allow it. And some people have a hard time realizing that they can't go on someone's channel and trash them and expect their comments to be approved.
Okay.
I mean, does that make sense?
Yep.
That's my rules. Is I used to let anything and everything go, but it got to a point that people wouldn't even leave comments because they would get ganged up on, and so I had to clean it up.
Well, being ganged up on kind of sucks because they don't give you a chance to defend yourself. But if it's a one-on-one person, then it's an even playing ground. Then it's easy to confront people.
But that leads me to another point: is why is it that we feel in the expat community specifically this need to confront people every time there's a live show?
Well, sometimes people get questions and they want some kind of answer, without too much confusion.
Here's my question. Okay, let's use if it's a question that's like for example, if you have a question, say about my OFW position, okay, that's a perfect example, and you say, hey, can you explain this? That's fine, but going into I heard in 1994, blah blah blah, that stuff it's really no one's business. This idea of it's getting to a point now that everybody wants to confront everybody about every little thing. I'll give you an example. This is
Okay.
Will Wonks goes on there and just trashes Johnny Warrior, and Johnny went nuts on him. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what set me off with Johnny this last time. But one of the things that Johnny did that I thought was wrong was he put his WSDD 214, which is your military records from where you served. He put it out on the internet. And I'm like, dude, I wouldn't do that, man. these guys don't deserve for you to have to put out your military records.
Okay.
Like people have been hounding me about this stuff for me to put everything out there. I'm not gonna do it. It's none of their business.
Well, yeah. Yeah, don't just
I mean,
it's okay to talk to people, but they don't need to dig too deep.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think I said this in a video the other day. You know what? If you don't want to watch my channel, don't. It's not going to hurt me. My old channel had almost 1.8 million views.
That's nice. Hey, Peter, Mr. IPW wants to know if you're a veteran.
That's none of his business.
That's none of your business.
That's one of the trolls.
He asked
accounts.
Yeah, so he asked, so I just passed it on.
Oh no. They keep trying to go back to the same 5 questions, and they never get answers, and they're not going to get answers because it doesn't affect being an American in the Philippines. If they want to ask me questions about life in the Philippines, that's one thing. But to try and ask me questions, it's like people bring up some stuff from 2007. Okay, what happened 10 years ago affect what life in the Philippines is like in 2017?
Yeah.
I mean, they just want juicy gossip. They want to turn the expat community into Jerry Springer.
Well, there's only one Jerry Springer, so kind of hard to duplicate.
I mean that's what some of these guys want. I mean, they just want this Jerry Springer, fights, nonsense.
Well,
for example, bro,
have you watched Jerry Springer?
Like 20 years ago. But here's the thing. I'm wanting to say 5 different people challenge me to a fist fight. Expats. It's like a trend to challenge Peter to fights.
So they really want to fight you, or is it like a dual fight, or just like a microphone fight?
No. Like they want me to throw down because because of my boxing background. And you know what? None of them are actually going to do anything. I mean, really, do you think Barry knows anything about boxing?
No, but he says he's a street fighter.
You know what happens with a street fighter in a boxing ring? First thing, he's going to get
find out when they're 26.
He's going to get jabbed to death, for one. For two, he would do something illegal and get disqualified. Number 3, the 26th is not going to be a boxing match. It's going to be a massacre.
On whose side?
Oh, Floyd's going to humiliate him.
Yeah, but what if the Irish guy? What if he gets cornered in a corner and then let loose?
Okay, Manny Pacquiao couldn't corner him.
Well, yeah, but those guys are a little bit older now, and he's going to get in.
It doesn't matter. Floyd,
young cat.
Floyd is that good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say he's not good.
Now listen,
he is a seasoned fighter, but he is quite seasoned, though.
I hate this fight. Okay, I'm against it on every level.
Really,
Floyd is an embarrassment to the boxing community for doing this fight.
What do you think about him as a person? Not the boxer, but the person.
Well, you know what? His life is his life. He's a jerk, and now I don't know that, but here's the thing. Now, I don't know if he's really a jerk. And
on camera, he's a jerk.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a persona. I mean, that's a Muhammad Ali was a complete jerk when the cameras rolled.
Yeah.
But he was one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in person.
And what about you? How are you when you're not on the camera or behind the microphone?
Oh, you can
Is it still the same?
no. You can ask anybody that's been around me. I'm pretty laid back and calm, and I mean, I hold the same positions, but I'm not as nearly as aggressive about it. You know, I'm actually more of an intellectual type of guy,
Okay.
and I mean that's you know I have said from day one that YouTube is a persona. Everybody is different when the cameras are rolling than when they're not.
I'm listening.
So I mean, yeah, I mean that's um, you know, I don't really of the expats I've met, I have never really had a super negative experience.
Out of
Uh,
all the expats you met, you never
yeah,
had a good experience?
I've never had a bad experience when I've met them.
Oh, that's good.
Because I'm pretty easygoing. I mean, I had one little incident. Well, I had two incidents, but one of them was, I think, was on your show or Alo's show that just happened. But the other incident was with Landhawk, and Dave Phillips
Oh,
had him
really?
on. Dave Phillips had him on a show, and Dave kept on prying and prying and prying until he said some bad stuff about me.
Landhawk.
Yeah, but
Oh, because I always
but
seen him as a pretty easy kill kind of person.
yeah, but the reality of it is Dave has a way of manipulating people into saying what he wants them to say.
Okay.
Well, you found that out on that live stream they did. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Bill has reached out to me since that happened and said basically I should have that he should have done better. So it's all over. I mean, it's not a big deal. And then me and Montelli got into it. I can't remember if it was on your show or
With
Alo's
Steve?
show. Yeah, and about
Was that just a
Israel.
couple? Well, I think it was, yeah, Steve. I haven't gotten him on my show yet. So I hope I'm going to get him
Yeah,
one day.
it was. He said they were talking about Iraq, and I brought up Israel, and he just went nuts because I believe that Palestine is not a country. Palestine are terrorists,
Okay.
and he just lost it.
Well, I mean, long time ago, um, they used to be pretty bad. Are they still the same, or
Oh, the Palestinians?
yeah?
Oh, they're still terrorists trying to bomb the West Bank.
Because I know Israel. Well, see, none of those Arab countries like Palestine, but
No,
since
they like Palestine. They don't like Israel.
yeah, but I remember when I was younger, they were talking in the news and they were saying that um, the other Arab countries don't really like Palestine, but since they are fighting with Israel, then they're letting them in the fold a little bit.
Yeah, no, they.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, no. Anyways, I had a dispute with him, and we exchanged videos back and forth there for a couple days. But besides that, I have never really had much of a. Uh, those were just some two unique situations, and I mean, the deal with Johnny. I'll tell you what happened was when Will Wonks basically said that Johnny was basically lying about his entire military service. Johnny got into a
Uh-huh.
really bad attitude, and it just escalated from there. And that's what happened there.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've always had really positive experiences with people that I've met. And I've probably met at least a dozen vloggers that have channels. Um, and some of the guys I get along with really good, I completely disagree with.
Okay.
Like I've met probably 5 or 6 times at least Mike Casson.
Okay, go ahead.
And I mean, Mike is an old guy. He's coming here looking for a young girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
And and he does some stuff that's kind of shady. But I like him as a person. He's a very nice guy. And
Okay.
and like there, like I'll give you an example. There's a guy, Dave and this guy, his name's Joe, had a live stream on Dave's show where they said that Mike lied about having a heart attack. Okay.
Are you talking about that guy in the Ilo?
Yeah, that's Mike Casson.
Okay.
And so I said, you know what? Didn't Mike have a heart attack? Maybe, maybe not. But he definitely had a heart problem. There's 3 different types of heart attacks. Which one did he have? For one. For 2, even if he had heart problems and not specifically a heart attack, it's still the same result. I mean, it's just a stupid discussion for these guys to go and basically Dave wants to make everybody look like a bunch of frauds. I mean, that's what his whole live stream show was all about, was going after one person after another. I mean, they went after Frankie, which Frankie's not the best guy in the world. But, there's no, and then they went after a Filipino guy. And they went after him only because he's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Like they've accused, and the thing is, I don't get about they will go and harvest personal information to the internet, do all kinds of stuff that's completely inappropriate. Like that Filipino guy, they actually were emailing his coworkers, making up all types of lies about him.
Huh.
I mean that's wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, like some of these guys actually sent not an email, but sent some stuff to friends of mine on Facebook, and one of my friends goes, "That's all you got against him? Surely you can do better." What's up, Daniel?
Hey, Peter. I haven't been watching you lately since you asked me not to watch anymore.
Oh, that's okay. I don't remember asking not to watch. I think I
did it on one of your videos.
It must have been something about. I mean, I know you've left some pretty bizarre comments, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, we're kind of polar opposites, I think.
No, it's all good. I mean, I just think that if I remember right, there was just like some really bizarre comments, specifically concerning social justice.
Hey, Peter, are you on meds?
Yeah, I'm on meds. I have to take a cocktail of meds.
Oh, same with me.
Here's the deal with medical care in the Philippines: is there's a couple good hospitals, and the rest are crap.
Yeah. I've been to a couple in the Philippines, but they're pretty cheap, and
they're cheap.
Well, it didn't cost that much compared to hospitals here.
The good hospitals in the Philippines are not quite what they are in the U.S., but they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, the difference between public and private.
Well, there's three hospitals here in the
Okay.
country that I go to. I will go to Makati Medical, I will
I've
go
been
to
there.
St. Luke's, and I'll go to Asian Hospital in Alabang. I go to Makati Medical every other month and stay for 2 days, and it's 100,000 pesos every time.
Okay.
Now I don't pay that, but that's how much they bill the government for. So I mean, that's not cheap.
Yeah.
But Makati Medical is the same hospital. It's the same hospital that you would have in Chicago or Kansas City or Dallas.
Okay.
So I mean, it's an American hospital. Same thing with St. Luke's. St. Luke's is world
But
class too.
Makati was pretty good, but
Yeah, that's
it's an
where I go.
old hospital.
But the staff are very, very good. I mean, they know their stuff.
Okay.
And
That's the hospital on the hill, right?
no, Makati Medical. No,
Yeah.
it's on the east side of Makati.
Okay, because I went to a Makati hospital, but it was it looked like it was on a hill.
There really isn't that much of a very much of a hills in Makati.
Okay.
Was it in the fort?
No, it was just a big hospital. I think it was like a cement style looking hospital.
No, that would be
I
Makati
mean,
Medical,
like
but
a
it's
red
not on a
brick.
hill. It's not on a hill.
Oh, is there more than one Makati hospital?
No, there's several hospitals in Makati, but Makati Medical Center is the main hospital that has the very good reputation. Like Americans fly to the Philippines to get medical care.
Just because
Yeah.
it's cheaper, right? I
It's
mean, cheaper cost-wise, but
It is
not
a little
cheap.
cheaper. It is a little cheaper, but it's also got a really good reputation.
Yeah. I went there because I hurt my ankle, and they took X-rays, did a blood test.
Oh,
everything came back.
I wouldn't have went to Makati Medical for something that small.
Oh well, but it didn't cost that much. I think it was around $50 US back in 2000.
Then it wasn't Makati Medical,
Okay.
because that would be about a $200 to $300 up.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it was pretty cheap. But my friend that took me there, she said it was Makati something.
It sounds like it. I mean, there's several hospitals there. I mean, it could have been the Makati. It may have been the government hospital. The government hospital is not that bad in Makati. It's actually pretty nice.
Okay.
By comparing the other government
I gotta
hospitals.
go just a moment.
Comparing the other government hospitals, it's not that bad. So who else is in here?
I'm on the telephone.
Hey, PT.
Hey, what's
Are
up,
you-
my friend?
Hey, good. Hey, are you really gonna leave the Philippines? And where are you gonna go?
I am leaving. I'm still just getting stuff done. Like I got to get visas and everything. Where am I going? You think I'm really gonna put that out there so people can go and harass people?
No, but if you live in the Philippines, you're still gonna make videos, yes?
Oh yeah. No, I definitely will. I'm probably gonna be doing more once I leave, because there isn't a lot left to talk about in the Philippines.
No, once you live there, or like me, I come there a lot of times. Really fast, you know the country, huh?
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to put out there that's not already out there?
Yeah.
But you haven't done it. So if maybe people want to see your face when you're doing a clip.
Yeah, well, I had 1,500 videos at one time that all got on that old channel.
Wow.
So, I mean,
Well,
I've covered
pretty-
about
pretty
everything
big.
there was to cover.
Huh. Well, it looked like we got quite a few people on our panel that hopped on. Anybody have any questions?
When's lunch?
Oh, I don't know, but they were. I thought I could smell it.
Well, that isn't the question. The question is who's paying?
Well, that's a good question too.
I just ate lunch.
What'd you have?
Some Italian food, some lasagna, raviolis, leftover stuff, reheated.
I like ravioli.
I don't know how to cook. My wife does.
Hey
I'm a
guys,
retard.
can you hear me?
Hello,
I
Donna.
can hear you.
Hi. Hello, Peter.
What's up?
You're very, what do you call that, popular. Well, I'm here because I wanted to ask Peter some question. But don't worry, Peter, I'm not going to attack you. I just want to hear your explanation. And, you know, I have a serious question about you.
Okay, I might answer it.
Okay. Yesterday, I was listening to Kev's show, and you said that OFW is usually end up being prostitute. I wanted to know where did you why did you say that, and where did you get the data?
Okay.
OFW is usually end up being prostitute. I wanted to know where did you
So somebody's having an echo. Or
It's
they
this
got
Billy
a.
guy.
That's a nice picture. Who's that?
Echo man.
Oh boy.
Okay, hold on.
That's a nice picture. Who's that?
Yeah, somebody
Man with the
is
echo.
getting stepped on.
Okay, let me answer Donna's question.
Okay.
Oh, that's Jimmy. Wow.
Okay. Here's the thing with that. Data shows that a lot of Filipinos that go overseas, they end up being mistresses for their employers, specifically domestic helpers. Okay.
Mhm.
In Hong Kong, one of the administrators said that the Filipinos in Hong Kong are wrecking marriages by sleeping with their employers.
Mhm.
There's a case, I believe it was in Abu Dhabi, that the OFWs
The
were
real gold.
sleeping with the general consulate of the Philippines in order to get their paperwork processed faster.
Mm.
I mean, so there's case after case after case after case of this, and that doesn't even get into the drug mules that have been involved. Some OFWs have went missing.
Mhm.
Because what happens is they get killed so that people can illegally harvest their organs, because
Mhm.
organs on the international black market are at a premium price. I mean, there's just a lot of this stuff that nobody wants to talk about. Not to mention
Well, yeah.
the Rush.
Well, someone just said a few cases don't mean everybody.
Well, it's not just a few. I mean, it's an ongoing problem. I mean, especially the situation in Hong Kong. I mean, they
Yeah, but
literally were ready to
yeah,
ban Filipinos.
Let's Peter finish, and then we can
Okay.
have our our
They almost
opinion.
banned Filipinos from going to Hong Kong over this.
Okay. Okay. So Peter, this is from what I know, because I grew up and I was born and raised in the Philippines, and I have a lot of what do you call that, OFW family members, and this is what I know. Okay, all these Filipinos in Hong Kong that you're saying that end up in prostitution, it's a big problem in the Philippines law, for a very, very long time. A lot of Filipinos would go to Hong Kong, Singapore, Korea, or even in Japan as a tourist. They are not OFWs that are approved by POEA. They would go there as a tourist and, as you said, end up in the prostitution. But that doesn't mean that all OFWs are prostitutes. I have a lot of family members in Paris, in Canada, in Australia. They're not prostitutes, but they're OFWs there. The one in Hong Kong, yeah, there's a lot in Hong Kong, there's a lot in Singapore, there's a lot in Korea, and even in Japan. There's a lot of Filipinos there working at the bars. But these Filipinos, they don't have a working visa there. They went there as a tourist, and they
Oh,
usually pay. They usually pay, their handler.
okay. I think you're missing what I'm saying here. I'm not talking about just the ones that go there to do that. I'm talking about they go there for a regular job, but once they get there, they find out that their employer ex- expects them to be a mistress as well.
Yes, but I wanted to know, where did you get that data? Because Peter, in Hong Kong and in Singapore, um, Filipinos' reputation there are very, very low because most of Filipinos would go there, working as a domestic helper. Like they even have a book there that it's a they're teaching their student in the school. It's like a stereotype. Like when they said Filipino, they will say, oh, domestic helper. Just like here in America, like Indians, 7-Eleven, right? And then
What's
Asians would,
that? Yeah,
what, what was
but
that?
anyways, here's another question I have about OFW specifically. EDSA loses um, one. EDSA loses $1 billion a year in lost production. Traffic in Manila along EDSA costs the country $1 billion a year. Okay,
Hmm.
are you following me?
Yes.
If if we lose $1 billion a year in lost production because of traffic, how much money is the country losing in lost production because of all the OFWs are working outside the country instead of using their skills inside the country?
They're working abroad because there's not much work in the Philippines. All right, you would say there's a lot of job in the Philippines, and I agree with you. There's a lot of job in the Philippines, but the problem is, when you apply for a job, even in McDonald's and in Jollibee, you need to be at least high school graduate, or even at least college level. If not, they're not gonna hire you, even in SM. You know. So
Yeah,
if you didn't finish high school, then you're just gonna end up working at probably like a domestic helper too, like a maid or like a nanny. And how much the salary of the nanny and maids in the Philippines? It would
500.
range. It would range like 2,500 to 5,000. Depends if you went to high class or your boss is
yeah.
rich.
Well, yes and no. Because if you are a domestic helper in the Philippines, you are getting a lot of extra benefits that you wouldn't get.
Like what benefit?
Like say for example, I have a good friend of mine that has a domestic helper.
Mm.
She lives with the family,
Mm-hmm.
has a nice bedroom that she
Mm.
would not have otherwise. She eats
Mm.
good American food every meal. She eats the same thing everyone else eats. He doesn't say, "Here, go eat your dry fish, and we're gonna eat a steak."
Mm.
You know. So I mean, she eats very well. She has a nice, she has a very comfortable life. She's almost living like an American.
Yeah, but okay. So
And what
Peter,
about the money, though?
that girl that you're talking about, there's not much of them. You know how many rich people in the Philippines? It's not that many. The
Oh,
percentage of rich
hold
people
on,
in
hold
the
on.
Philippines or can afford to pay a maid or give
But
them
but
a good life.
but
They're
but
not paying that
Somebody
much.
got to turn off their TV. The
it's that
background
Jimmy.
noise is
It's that
not
Jimmy.
very good.
That Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy, turn off your TV,
Okay.
please.
But here's the thing. In the Philippines, if you're white, you're rich.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of
Thank
whites
you.
in the Philippines that's getting made. How many expats that are living in the Philippines compared to 100 more than 100 million what's that Filipino in the Philippines,
Yeah,
right?
I but going back to where I was saying, we send all these people overseas. So, like, I'll give you an example. Okay, a few years ago, they almost had to ground Philippine Airlines because pilots were wanting to leave the country and they couldn't even fulfill all the flight routes. And the government had to step in and tell the pilots, "You're going nowhere until we have enough people."
Even the maids in the Philippines have sex with their employers. It's common.
Oh, I'm not saying that it's not, uh,
Very common.
but it's definitely a massive problem with the OFWs.
No.
That we have a lot of people in the Philippines and we need them, right?
These
We
Yeah,
people are very easily taken advantage of.
yeah, but going back to what I was saying, Donna, is let's say engineers. Okay, we need the best civil engineers that the country can have. We need them in Manila fixing this mess. You know,
Yes, I agree with you with that. I
Yeah,
agree.
there's no shock that there's a huge brain drain in the Philippines. I mean, that's been going on for
well,
forever.
I'll tell you this,
that's
Peter,
one of my
because
big
I
arguments
have.
with OFWs is we're always training people because they take it off, and you can't build a society based on always training. Sometimes you've got to have the experts as well as people that are apprenticed.
Yes, but look, Peter, you need to put the blame on the government, not to the OFWs or the people. My
Hold on,
cousin,
hold on. What is the government?
the government is supposed to take care of their people,
Hold on.
right?
The government is duly elected by who?
Of course, yeah, by the people.
So when you say don't blame the people, blame the government, if you blame the government, it still goes back to blaming the people because the government is a representation
Peter,
of its
we
constituents.
we all know that all this, who is sitting in the office were elected by the elite.
Wait, hold
Right.
on. No,
Blamed
no,
and dirty.
they are elected by the people. Listen, when you put Duterte and Estrada in public office, there's something wrong.
Look, in the Philippines, 90% of the population goes to movies, 10% go to school. So figure out who they're going to elect.
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, correct.
Well, if they can
Next
provide a
movie
good
star.
education in the Philippines, that's not gonna happen. Like my
Right.
cousin, he is a civil engineer, okay? And then after he passed the bar, he had to work abroad because he needs. They're asking for experience. They want someone who has experience. So after you graduated, you can just apply and get a job right away because you need to have an experience. And that's what do you call that, um the all the company are asking for that. So most of these newly graduates, they work overseas, nurses, civil engineers. My cousin is a civil engineer and he has to work abroad for 2 years so he can apply at you know
And here's
Yeah,
the
yeah, but you cannot compare the schools in the Philippines with the schools in other countries.
actually that's not true. That's not true, bro. Um, there's a school here. that puts 89% of their graduates to Harvard, Yale, and Princeton.
That's one school.
That
Well,
I mean,
That's
Manila
There are
International.
100 million people in the Philippines.
Yeah,
If
but
it,
there
if
are
you go
some.
in my country here in Belgium, you go to school. You
There
don't
are
have to go to Harvard or something like that. It's very good school here, huh?
But there are some good schools in the country.
Or people cannot pay for that. That's also a problem.
You know what? Listen, bro. I'm gonna say something pretty strong here, and Kevin may kick me off for it. But if they have money for alcohol, they have money to send their kids to school.
You're right.
That's true.
You know what? I see. No, they got money for cockfighting. They got money for gambling. They got money for alcohol. They got money for all their addictions. But they don't have money to send their kids to school. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, people priority they think when you go to a cockfight, people think that's quick money and they can get money fast.
The problem in the Philippines is that the Filipinos are addicted to their government.
Why? The government doesn't do anything for them.
They expect the government to give them everything. They think they're supposed to have free medical care. They're supposed
Filipinos know the government is useless. They're on their own. There's no social safety net in the Philippines.
It's already starting from the barangay. They
Yeah,
pay
but
everybody 500 pesos for voting them. So
okay,
Yeah.
During election time, they'll vote for whoever promises them the most free crap.
They'll vote
pay
for
them.
whoever pays them on the spot for their vote. That's who they vote for.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a different story.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like
Peter,
that.
most of these people were paid.
Yes.
You know, during election, even in our province, that's what they do. They would go there, and then they would give each 500 per person
Yeah,
to
but
vote for them.
listen to what I'm saying. During the elections this last time, I went and got all the propaganda paperwork that they put out, all of the candidates, and I crunched the numbers, and none of them work.
The people know that already.
You know what? None of them could put forth a plan or a platform that actually worked on paper.
Well, that's not surprising to Filipinos.
Well,
And it's
I'm sorry if
not
you're
Jerry,
running.
It's not only the Philippines. If you go to Thailand or something like that, it's the same. It's the same.
Fake it says they not give 500. Some people, would just only receive 200 pesos, 300 pesos. It depends on, what kind of community you are in.
But listen, they do that. Then they complain that they're about bad politicians. Why, if you have such a problem, why don't you stop taking the money and start looking at their platforms and start analyzing the differences between them and vote based upon their platform and how they can actually lead the country instead
Peter,
of who gives you the
these
best.
people during the election day, there's someone would pick them up and look on their ballot, their ballot, to make sure that they that they voted, the specific person that they told them to vote. They can get away with it.
I'll give you.
Some people can get away with it, but
I'll give you an example of what I mean. Okay, in the United States, I'm a registered Republican. Okay, and it would be like me going in the primaries and saying whoever can give the best speech, I'll vote for.
That's
And
all
not
irrelevant.
anything else.
It's all irrelevant in the Philippines. Who pays the most gets that vote.
Yep.
Yes,
And-
yes and
and
no.
they cheated too.
I do know some people that vote by platform. Okay. I mean, I personally know some people that vote based on platform, and they actually, said, I'm voting for this person because of this reason. but I will admit that they are a minority.
It's not gonna work, Peter. It's not gonna work. Even the running president has the better platform. It's still not gonna work. You know why?
I'll tell you what would work. Is Vice President Binay is talking about trying to get Makati to be like Hong Kong is and have it be self-governing. If that happens, things will change because they'll lose their piggy bank.
Peter, a lot of the people from the barangay, they've never been in the big city, so they know nothing.
No, listen, if Makati quits funding the country, things are gonna change.
Okay, this is what I wanted to say to you, Peter. You said a lot of OFWs end up in prostitution. I would disagree with that. If it's your opinion, that's your opinion. That's fine, but I would disagree with what you said. I was born and raised in the Philippines, and I know a lot. But I just disagree with you. I'm sorry.
And you know what, Donna, I'm perfectly fine with you disagreeing with me. I don't have a problem with someone disagreeing with me, as long as they do it respectfully.
Yeah.
All right, Kev, I'm done with it.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me in.
Yep, no problem. Thank you for coming.
Oh, and for your information, the vice president, his name is, what's her name? Lenny Robredo.
No, I'm talking about Binay.
Who the hell is that?
He's the former vice president. He was the vice president over.
What's his relevance now?
He's a very powerful politician in the country. And his daughter is the mayor of Makati right now.
Well, he's as powerful if he's a supporter of Duterte, if he's not the president.
No, he's a supporter of drug dealers. That's what he is. He's not a supporter of Duterte, that's for sure.
Then he's got no power.
He's a supporter of drug dealers. That's what it is.
He's got lots of power in Makati.
He's got power, that's for sure, but he's a supporter of drug dealers.
No, he's a supporter of the economy, and he's a supporter of the business community.
What economy? Wait a minute. What's been going on in the prior administrations is that they suck all the money from the other islands in forms of taxation, and all that money goes to Luzon.
Bro.
Nothing stays with the other islands. Now Duterte is spreading the money out to all the islands.
No, he's not. No. 82 cents of every tax dollar is made in Makati. Now, this is fact. Problem.
I'd like to see that fact, Peter. I really would.
I filed for.
I'd like to see that fact.
Makati is the center of the business community.
Yeah, it is the center of the business community, but it's not the whole economy. Makati is not the whole economy.
It's 80% of it, and now for
Makati is not 80% of the economy. Tourism is bigger than Makati. Tourism is huge in the Philippines. Don't tell me Makati is 80% of the economy. Tourism is bigger than what's in Makati.
Hold on. Where's all the big companies? Where's BPO? Where are most of the BPO offices at?
Their headquarters are in Makati, yes. And you're totally right about that. But the whole economy is not just Makati in the Philippines. I mean, come on. We're talking about we got 7,100 islands here.
For someone as poor as you, Peter, who can't afford, you have to go to an internet cafe. Sure do know a lot about the Philippines government.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure you don't. You spend a lot of time on the internet Googling shit up, so you got something to talk about.
Bro.
So no, we're just talking here, Peter. But again.
But I'm coming after you, Peter. I'm gonna hurt you real good, buddy.
Okay, I've heard this 1,000 times, man.
Well, hey, come on. Tell me where you're at, man. I guarantee you, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Whatever,
we're about
man.
the same size. And
Whatever,
it's gonna
man.
be a fair fight,
bro.
You know.
I've heard it 1,000 times. I got better things to
All
listen
right,
to.
man. Well, just tell me where you're gonna be at, and I'll come and kick
Hey,
your ass.
Roberto, show here. You can talk him in private for that, eh? No?
Don't talk to nobody in private. He's a
No,
piece of
but
shit.
you're always talking like that. That's not.
I'm
not
sorry, man,
amusing.
but you know, you got a Filipina, and he called your wife a
I have
freaking,
also Philippines. But
yes, that's what I'm saying.
You have a right. You have a right to feel how you feel about Duterte, but you don't have a right to tell me how I'm supposed to feel about Duterte. That's
Are you talking about to me? Are you talking about me? Are you talking to me? No,
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about how you feel about Duterte. I said that your information that you're giving about that 80% of the money comes from Makati is totally incorrect. And unless you show me that, you're incorrect, Peter. I don't care if you like the previous administration or if you like Duterte.
No, I don't.
That's your choice. You can like who you like.
Bastards. They're every one of them corrupt bastards. Okay.
80% of the money does not come out of Makati. It does not. Tourism is bigger than what Makati is. I mean, come on. But I don't care if you don't like Duterte. I don't care. That's your choice. You can like who you like.
Bro, let me say this. A lot of the big companies, Smart, Globe, all the big
they have the
companies.
headquarters there. Yes, they have the headquarters there. Yes.
That's
They
where
have
all
their
the money
headquarters
goes.
there.
All the money, when you buy a smart load in Cebu, the money is made in Makati.
Okay, think about what I just said. The money sapped out of the other islands and brought to Luzon. Luzon taxes all these other islands because that's where basically the presidential palace is. They tax all these other islands and they bring the money to Luzon. They don't redistribute the money in the other islands' economies. That's the whole point. Duterte wants to spread the money to all the islands, not just Luzon. That's what I'm trying to say. Hmm?
Duterte wants to. He thinks Mindanao.
No, he's not thinking Mindanao. You're totally wrong. He's thinking about the whole country. That's what he's thinking about.
Okay, he thinks about the whole country. That's the reason he just gave away the oil fields and the gas fields to China.
Now, how much did he get in aid from China? How much money did he get from China?
Reality, the Philippines lost their asses because they gave away all their oil fields and gas fields in the West.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll wait and find out. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We'll have to wait and find out.
From China, all they got were loans.
They got loans.
No,
they got money. They got other countries to invest in the Philippines and bring jobs. That's what they also did. Japan is opening up enterprises in the Philippines. They need to open the door.
Hold on. Let me tell you what Duterte has done in the last 2 days.
We're talking about China.
Okay.
He put 67,000 people on the unemployment line. 67,000 people are unemployed because of Duterte.
67,000 in the whole country?
67,000 people lost their jobs directly because of Duterte.
Is that the current unemployment rate of 67,000 people?
67,000 people.
What is the current unemployment rate in the Philippines?
Listen. 3 days ago, these people had jobs. 2 days ago, they all lost their jobs in 5 minutes.
What jobs were these?
What job is that?
They suspended Uber.
Okay.
For no damn reason. Okay? 67,000 drivers are now unemployed.
Maybe Uber didn't pay the bribe.
Yeah, could be.
But at the end of the day, 67,000 drivers that had jobs now do not for a month because Duterte wanted to regulate everything like a good communist would.
Well, no, they should pay taxes. If somebody is doing a taxi business and the taxi guys are paying taxes, Uber should pay taxes also, of course.
It isn't about the taxation. It's that the taxi cab drivers can't compete with Uber, so they want Uber shut down because they don't want to innovate and be competitive with Uber and with Grab.
I'd be surprised if that's why Uber was shut down.
That's basically the bottom line.
Did you see that? Did you see that written somewhere?
No, I've been watching the thing.
No. Did you see it written somewhere? Did you see an article on this?
You can Google it yourself if you want. I mean, it's this. They 2 days ago suspended Uber for a month. Uber even offered.
Okay, they're suspended for a month, and what was the reason for that?
Because
I told you he's as smart as the computer, so all he has to do is Google everything, make him sound like he's smart, that he knows what he's doing. But all this is
shut up.
A bunch of pieces of shit.
Well, hang in, Roberto. Let me just hear what he says. No, I'm just curious. I saw a heading on Facebook, but I didn't really read the whole article. Why did they suspend Uber?
Because they told Uber that they could not add any more drivers until they can figure out how to regulate. I mean, Uber said we have to add drivers.
Right. So just a minute. They couldn't add any more drivers so that they could figure out how to regulate. So were there additional drivers coming on that weren't paying taxes, possibly? There's a lot of different ways of reading things.
It wasn't taxes. It was because the government couldn't regulate. In the Philippines, it's how things work, and you know this. If you fill out the form and you get your government card, like a driver's license, you don't have to know how to drive to get a driver's license. You just have to pay the fee, and they'll give you your driver's license whether you can drive or not.
All right.
Okay. They wanted all these drivers to go through all this red tape, and Uber was saying, listen, if they can drive, we need the drivers.
Okay, but wait a minute. Think about it, what you just said that, hey, you can just pay the fee, get a driver's license, whether you can drive or not. You should just be able to go out there and kill people on the road because you got a driver's license, you can drive, but you don't know how to drive. Maybe the Duterte want, just a minute, let me finish. Maybe they want to start putting in some regulations, okay, to have qualified people out there to be Uber drivers, not just anybody. Did you ever think of that? We're just talking here. Did you ever think of that?
First of all,
and maybe again, you're taking the public around, you're driving them around. You don't want somebody that doesn't know how to drive to kill people and to kill a passenger or something like that.
The small problem you're running into is the taxi unions were the ones that were lobbying for Uber to be shut down.
Well, they have to go through regulations, and I think Uber should also go through regulations as well, same as the taxi unions.
Nobody should go through regulations.
They should. You can't just let anybody do anything.
No, you can't regulate everything in society. I know you're from Chicago, but the rest of the world doesn't want regulations.
If the taxi companies are going through regulation, then Uber needs to go through regulation as well, just like the taxi companies.
No, they need to deregulate.
Well, deregulated, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing.
Uber has to compete with all the taxis in the Philippines. Uber, all the meter taxis, stuff like that. When Uber came into
government,
I didn't read the article, Roberto, so I don't know what happened with this Uber thing. You know what I mean? I didn't need to read the article. Anybody read the article?
I don't know. I wouldn't believe much of what's written in the paper there.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. So I don't believe a lot of stuff in the paper.
The bottom line is 67,000 people lost their job. That's the bottom line.
Well, where did you get that number? And who took that census? I mean, who took that number? Come on. The number could be skewed just to make the Duterte look bad. They've been doing a lot of that. There's been a lot of that from the other side trying to make Duterte look really bad. So I don't believe anything.
Uber was asked how many people they have, how many drivers they have on the rolls. And they gave the number, and it was a little over 67,000 drivers.
Well, of course, Uber's going to be pissed off, and they're going to throw a high number out there.
Oh, I think they have them. I mean, there's a shitload of drivers, and they're all over the country. They're not just in Manila.
Now, see, this is a good conversation, guys. I like these kind of conversations.
Yeah, I mean, suspending Uber is not good for the economy.
Well, they grease the right bombs. Uber will be back. They have to grease the right bomb.
Yeah, again, Uber will be back. We don't know if this is going to be bad or if this is going to be good.
Well,
somebody's going to be driving these passengers around.
This is epidemic of the Philippines, and it's before Duterte, but he's taking it to another extreme of over-regulation.
Look, from what I see, the guy's trying to root out corruption. The country's been corrupt for the last 30 years since Marcos was thrown out.
Okay.
You got, the guy's trying to trying to clean up.
All he's doing
cleaning
is
house.
killing the low-level drug dealers. That's all he's cleaning.
They're not drug dealers.
It's a start.
And political opponents. He's killing those guys.
I don't know about political opponents, John Doe. Is that John Doe?
Yes.
Is that John Doe? Is it? I mean, you know what? It's our opinion. You know, we don't know what the real stories are behind all this stuff, so it's just our opinion.
I put out a video just a few minutes ago about how Duterte murdered 25 people last night. Let me tell you one of the stories. A kid was eating at an eatery at a cantina. The police shot him point blank.
Well, he reached for their gun. They had to defend themselves.
Is that what happened? Did he reach for the gun?
That's every person they do. They can be handcuffed in the back of the police car. They'll say, "Oh, he reached for our gun and we had to shoot him." They salvage everybody.
Here's the issue that I have. Okay, are you telling me that 6,000 people that's been shot, but there's never a weapon? They never have a weapon on them.
They get they get a rusty 38 and throw it by the body. Then when the journalists come, they take the picture and they say, "See, he had a gun."
You mean to tell me you guys don't think drug dealers carry guns? Is that what you're saying?
These kids, these kids can hardly afford a pedicab, man.
Are they low-level drug pushers? Is that what they are?
They're street kids.
Are they low-level drug pushers?
It's social engineering. And listen, if they're drug dealers, you know what we do? We send them the team challenge. We don't kill them.
We don't have team challenge in the Philippines. Sorry, bud. It's a third world country.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They don't have the facilities, the means to rehabilitate all these people.
Bro, team challenge, I can take you to their exact headquarters, man.
And how many people can they handle? How many beds do they have in the whole country?
They can build facilities overnight, man.
How many beds do they have, Peter?
I would
What's their capacity?
I would have to look at the numbers, but they can build very quickly.
Do they have 6,000 beds? I don't think so.
I guarantee you they could make it work.
The best story is when that police superintendent Marcos, a protege of Duterte, ordered the killing of Espinosa in the Leyte jail. Bato suspended him. Duterte said reinstate him. He was charged with murder, unbailable offense. Then they lowered the charge so he can be set free, and he's back to work.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah.
Hey, see, this is a good conversation. Nobody's killing each other. We're not yelling at each other. We're just talking. Right?
Yep.
With all these government-sanctioned murders, it's pretty scary.
Well, again, it's very tough. But again, keep in mind, it's a third world country. They do things differently, and that's the way they do things differently. So we as Americans or as foreigners, we can't go tell these people what to do. They need to take care of their own problems.
I'm just an observer saying that.
That's true.
I'm not telling anybody what to do.
No, I know that. I know that for sure.
I just want to look at the facts. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's fairly scary. Just like that Korean guy, they kidnapped him. They wanted a ransom money.
He was having technical difficulties, so he had to go.
What? What are you talking about?
Who?
I think Peter.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay. Yeah, the Korean guy that got killed, that was not cool. That was straight up from the cops killed him, right? The cops?
Yeah, they kidnapped him.
That wasn't good.
They wanted ransom money. A ransom was paid. He wasn't released, but they took him to Camp Crame there, and they killed him right under Bato's nose in the police camp, military camp. They killed him, then they brought him to a crematorium. They turned him to ash, and they flushed him down the toilet. And then they were still asking for ransom money a second time, and that's when his wife went, reported it.
Was he a businessman there, or was he just on vacation?
No, he was a businessman living there. And this was sanctioned up the chain of command. That's why nothing's going to happen to those guys that killed him. Nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah, it's you got to be very careful being a foreigner in the Philippines. I mean, extremely careful.
Well, that's why you have to keep a low profile.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, and definitely don't show. I mean, once they know you got a business, you're kind of screwed, to be honest with you. You know.
Well, if you have a successful business, you may be competing with other Filipinos. They're going to take you down.
They are
take you down.
Yeah, and that's how it is there. That's how it is.
Just like there was the guy who was videos out, and in fact they had a CCTV, a guy that was living in an island off the coast of Leyte, and he went to do some shopping. He owned some land that it was actually in his ex-girlfriend's name, and he was having a lot of issues with the politicians, and it was like beachfront property, and he was assassinated one morning. It was caught on cam.
Was that the guy? How about the couple that were driving with the driver? Did you hear about that one outside of?
Yeah.
They got killed. They were going to collect some money or something like that. I think the driver killed them. They were found on the side of the road in the car, dead.
But this one in Leyte was on CCTV. It's on the internet. You can see the lookout walking up to him, and then there's two guys on a motorcycle. One guy gets off. They said a witness identified the shooter. And they said he was a farmer on Leyte, and the guy says, "Oh no, I didn't do it. I'm just a farmer." But I mean, they had the clothes that guy was wearing at the time of the killing.
Well, did you hear about the woman? It was on Facebook. She's riding her scooter down this hilly area, going south on the hill, and there was a couple, a Phil Am couple, driving their car going up the hill. She came around the corner. She was going really fast. She slid off the scooter. The scooter went off to the side. She slid, actually with the scooter, she slid right under their car, and she died. Now, they were found not guilty, the driver of the car, which was the guy's wife, but the police made her spend a night in jail. So her husband didn't go anywhere. Her husband and her brother-in-law were there, or his brother-in-law, and they stayed with her outside. They stayed outside waiting for the next day. But what happened in the meantime, the family of the person that died came to the police station like a mob action, and they demanded that she pay for the burial. And then they somehow negotiated down to like...
That's common. That's common there.
Yeah, they negotiated down to, I think, about $3,000 in dollar amount. So, again, it's whether you're...
Well, pretty expensive funeral.
Yeah, well, again, they got some people have to put money in their pockets and, this and that. So,
yeah.
You have
a blowout drinking.
Yeah, you got to really adapt to the country and just be, owning a car might be a hazard.
What was sad was this lawyer. He was a lawyer for that drug mayor that was killed in jail, Espinoza. So that lawyer was sitting in his truck with what I assume is his girlfriend. And, he's an older guy, and the girl was like 18, 19 years old. And she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And guys with
she got killed?
Yeah, M16 rifles, front and back. I mean, broad daylight. They lit up the truck.
Yeah, when they do a hit in the Philippines, man, you can't be anywhere near. They don't play over there. That's for sure.
Well, I don't think they really wanted to kill her, but they wanted to kill him, and she was in the way. She was in the way, so she died. She died. That's like when Espinoza, they killed the drug guy in the jail. He was in the cell with a cellmate. There was another guy in there, so they killed both of them.
Yeah, I mean, how about that stuff that happened in Ozamis like a week or two ago, where they went after, was it the mayor, the governor, or something? A whole bunch of like people in power in that area, and apparently there was a lot of drugs going through that area, and they might have been supporting the drug dealers, from what I read.
Like the 32 people that were killed, and
something like that. Yeah, I read something like that.
Yeah, they always say, oh yeah, they opened fire on us and we had to defend ourselves, but not one cop will be killed or injured, and then all the other people will be shot dead.
You guys give me some likes or dislikes.
Do you have any likes,
38 people. Huh?
You got 38 people in here?
Yeah. So I just said, give me likes or dislikes, thumbs ups or thumb down. It's all good.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah, like I said, it's nice like when I have a show and everybody can come on and state their opinion and just, you know.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, you know what? Again, we just all thrown our opinions out there. There's really no right or wrong in a lot of these questions or a lot of these topics. Some topics they may be, but again, it's just an opinion, man. And just keep it at that and keep it civil. And yeah, I get a little upset sometimes. I got a little upset yesterday at Peter on the show, but again, I think I had a right to be upset, and
Well,
you know, it is what it is, and I don't really think about it the next day. I pretty much forgot about it. You know, it's not a big
you don't
deal.
need to apologize or anything.
Yeah, I don't hold any grudges or anything like that. You know,
it happens. You know, so.
Yeah,
but
it is what it
always
is.
try to keep you cool and good composure.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, John, where are you at, man? Are you in the Philippines or are you in the States?
No, I'm in the States, but if you want to read up on that, because there's video and everything on that guy that was killed in Leyte, Google this name, Simon, Simon, Rawlinson, I'm sorry, RAW. Let me see. That looks like LINSON. He's from New Zealand.
Oh, cool. Yeah, look it up. And I'm sure, you know what? I'm sure there's probably a whole lot of other stuff that goes on like that that we don't even hear about, you know, in the paper or anything like that. You know, again, you got to kind of keep a low profile, as you said, you know, as a foreigner, and don't do anything stupid. You know, when I first started watching stuff in the Philippines, it was back around, I don't know, some kind of mid 2014, I started following stuff around there. And, you know, I look
I'll
back.
be back. I got to go upstairs.
You know, I look back at that kid that got beat up at that bar down in Dumaguete. You know, it was quite unfortunate, but I saw the video. Prince guy, whatever his name was, I can't remember. And people do crazy stuff, man.
You know, with that is basically, as a foreigner, white foreigner, you shouldn't be going to bars that are primarily Pinoy bars at 2 in the morning, where people are likely to get drunk, and it's not going it's never going to be a fair fight. It's always going to be 3 or 4 on 1, and I don't care how big you are, you're going to lose.
And it's not like it was in a bad area, because I mean, I've been in that area. It's a nice area. It's right on the boardwalk there, from what I recall. So
yeah, but if it's a Pinoy bar, you don't want it.
Right, you know, you got to be cool.
Yeah. Once they're drunk, violence will be the next thing to happen.
It is what it is, man. You know. Hey, who's the other? Who's Daniel? Who's Daniel? Huh? Hey, Daniel, what's up?
What happened to Kevin?
You know what? He said he had to. I think he had to go to John for a minute or something.
That's the only guy that I know who skips out on his own freaking channel.
It's okay, Roberto. You're there. Take over, man. It's all you. You know. Yeah, it's funny.
The Philippines is a good place if you have money to go retire, keep a low profile, enjoy what you want, but don't be putting vlogs up on YouTube, and don't be starting businesses. Don't be a money lender. Don't get involved in politics, etc., etc. Don't, you know, if you start a business and you're successful, it's going to be an issue.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough to own a business there, man. I wouldn't really want to. Everything I see, it's just very tough. You know?
I'd still offer them. Need a drink, need anything.
So, hey, John, are you looking to move to the Philippines to retire?
A lot of people ask me that question, and I've been going there for over 20 years now.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, I do love it, but I love to go there. I love to enjoy my time there, and I do love coming back too. So I'm on the fence, and I don't have a financial need to say I could only afford to live in the Philippines.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, neither do I. Yeah.
So for right now,
it's
comfortable going back and forth. When I go there, I mean, I travel all over the Philippines, but primarily stay in my girlfriend's family's house, and I'm pretty comfortable there. They have a lot of maids. They have 2 vans, so I don't want for anything.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, they treat me like a king over there. Like I don't even have to wipe my ass when I'm there.
All right. Well, thanks for that tidbit there, John.
No problem. Yeah, and it's nice that her sister has a driver. If I need to be driven anywhere,
Sure.
he'll drive me. But most local places I can drive myself.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, everything is her sister, my girlfriend's sister there is a doctor.
Yeah,
There are either
cool.
doctors and nurses there, and if I need to go to see a doctor, it's free. I don't have to wait online. You just go right in.
Yeah, nice. Yep.
Yeah,
it's nice when you know people there, man.
If you got a couple of people, you're with a good family, you got a little bit of money, you can be the king over there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a totally different life. I go out in the morning, I go jogging, come back, give the maid my sweaty jogging stuff, and they clean it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
it's great.
Good deal. Is Kevin back? Big Kev. No.
No, he's MIA.
Oh shit. All right, gentlemen. I'm at work, so I'm about to leave work. So.
All right.
Thank you for having me on. Thanks for talking, John.
Sure.
Hey, thanks, Roberto. You guys all have a good one.
You too.
All right, Jared,
You guys
take
have
care.
a good one. Yeah, just tell Kev I said bye whenever he comes back. Thanks a lot, guys.
Catch you
later,
next
man.
time.
Yep, have a good one.
I like that picture of Duterte holding Peter's picture. That's funny.
Yeah.
It would be nice if it said like a caption above it, "Wanted, dead or alive."
Yeah, I'll find something like that. Put it up. Daniel, are you on?
Everybody abandoned ship.
Yeah. John, so where's your girlfriend from? Fiance? What province?
Negros, Bacolod.
Negros or Bacolod? Yeah. That's a nice area there.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, like every part of the Philippines, it's developing fast. I kind of like the old Bacolod, but what are you going to do? You can't hold progress up.
Right.
It's amazing. Right now, the Ayala Corporation with Mega World, they're building a huge complex there now. So it's really going to transform the city.
Yeah, I haven't been there for years. I used to, when I was little,
I'm back.
My parents or grandparents used to take us to every island. He's a rooster man, so he hops from island to island. Fight his roosters, and we go to Negros and
he probably knows my girlfriend's brother. He does the same thing, and he's a big guy in the rooster cockfighting arena, and he's heavily into breeding too. So he travels all over. He's even entertained guys from the U.S. I think there's 1 or 2 states in the U.S. that they can have cockfighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they've come to the Philippines, and he's gotten together with them, and so on and so forth. So he's a pretty known person.
Where'd you go, Kevin?
Went upstairs real fast. See what they were doing. They're gonna go get a router. We're having buffering problems downstairs, so I went to go see what the plan is.
It's always good every once in a while to unplug the modem and the router. You know, then reboot them. That's
yeah. Well, I'm in the basement, and everybody else is upstairs and like on the third floor, and all spread out throughout the whole place. So it's kind of, maybe I'm just getting a weak signal just because it's so spread out.
Yeah, and make sure there's any kind of electronics close to the router that would block the signal too.
Oh yeah.
Do you know is it what is that? Like an AC router, 802.11 AC router? Do you know?
I'm not sure. It's just
or is it an N?
It's a Wi-Fi router.
Right,
from AT&T.
Like the old standard was the 802.11N. Then they about a year ago they came out with it 802.11. I think it's AC or AB. That's the most current. So if it's the older router and make sure you get the newest version. That's what I'm saying.
I see. Yeah, I don't have an idea what they're doing.
Right.
But, yeah.
But they give it free. The router is a part of the service. It's free.
Yeah.
And how long have they had it? That's
since we've been here, so 1 year now.
No. Well, this possibly an updated, upgraded one. Maybe they could swap it out. Swap it out.
Yeah.
Because they'll never tell you. You have to be proactive.
Okay, just find out, see if they got anything in the brand new,
the latest model. That's correct. And then get the model number of the current one if you have time. You Google it, see the specs on it. If it's an 802.11N as in Nancy, that's the older router.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it may need just an Airport Express. That's a type of router that expands the signal in the room. If you got a huge house like you have,
yeah,
and multiple people using it, you may have to get an Airport Express.
Well, they have these machines. It looks like one of those air freshener. It's like in a big tube, and an orange, no, not orange, but a purple light comes on if there's no connection, and when we got a connection, then it goes off. It's like a booster. We have 3 of them in the house.
Oh,
when Airport Express does it boosts your signal.
Okay.
Do you ever do a speed test just for curiosity to see what?
Not me, but I think my uncle and my cousin, because they're the ones that's doing all the, like, they got businesses that they're using on this.
No, but you're on a laptop.
Well, I am, yeah.
Yeah, you just Google speed test, and then you just click on that, and then it'll tell you what you're getting in megabits per download and upload.
Just go to Google
speed test.
Okay.
See, it says a speed test .net by I don't know what that is. Okia or something. Speedtest.net by Okia.
This one says speed test TWC ATT.
No, or you can just then up in the URL there. You could just type in speedtest.net.
Speed test. Speed test. Okay, now it says speed test for desktop, mobile.
Yeah, for desktop. For desktop.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of speed tests up on top. Go.
Yeah, it should be speed test by OOKIA.
Well, this one is, this one's just saying speed test beta.
Yeah, click on that. That's good. Yeah, I see what you're what you're saying. Yeah, you can click on that. Then click on go. It says go there, I guess.
Well, it's sure taking its time.
I guess
we're having a little bit of a delay on everything. Okay, go.
Click on go.
Yep.
And then it'll automatically do your speed test for you.
Well, okay, the arrow, like on the indicator, it's at 33, 34, and climbing. 34.11.
So that's your download. What about your upload?
Oh, okay. They're doing the upload right now. It's ping 49 ping. Okay, that's the down. Okay, 7.5. 7.57.
Yeah, that's a pretty minimal.
That's the upload.
Yeah, your upload and download are not that good. I mean,
yeah.
No,
it's actually because I'm so far away.
Yeah, probably. I mean, not. But like I said, if they have the old router, that's already will limit. That's going to limit the speed if you have the old router. That's why if you have the current one, you're more likely to get higher speeds.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys, it's my 1 o'clock, and I'm gonna take my meds and I'm gonna go to Happy Land for a little while. I've been here since 9:30 this morning. This is my second show, so I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out. We had a pretty good topic. Everything is going pretty good. Yeah, the Alliance had their show on earlier, and I took a look at their rating thing, and they weren't doing very good, but they're happy, I guess. I mean,
I have no idea who
they got 4 likes, anyway. 24 dislikes. So a lot of people was unhappy with whatever they were saying. But I don't know. Everybody
who's the head of the Alliance? Is there one person?
Well, this one over here, they're on Bubba. Great Superior Leader. And I guess Bubba and Popeye was on.
All right. I don't know any of those people.
Yeah.
Well, bless you, Kevin.
All right, you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope you guys got some kind of entertainment out of it. But, it's at the end of the day, this is all entertainment. Somebody got a laugh out of it, or they got some good things from it. It just depends on what you want to get out of it.
All right. Catch you next time.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
All right.
I'm okay. I'm tired.
Have a nice day.
Yep. Same to you, buddy. Yeah. All right, Roberto.
All right, man.
Quick broadcast.